Welcome to the online classes, children. Class 6th, Science, Separation of Mixtures continuation. We have seen how to separate different kinds of mixers. First, we have seen a mixture having solid components. In the previous classes, I told you how to separate a mixture with two solid components. For example, hand picking is the method used, sieving is the method used. These are used where both the ingredients, both the components or the different components are solids. Now, I also told you how to separate solid liquid mixtures when the liquid is dissolved in the solid in the the solid is dissolved in the liquid, and also when the solid is insoluble. You have seen soluble solids are separated by evaporation. Also distillation is also used for that purposes. In evaporation, you have seen the liquid component escapes out, whereas the solid remains in the heating vessel. You also seen how to separate insoluble solid like mud and water. You have seen sedimentation, decantation. Also, filtration is one of the method for used that. Now, next category, soluble liquids. Now, two liquids dissolve each other, forming miscible liquids. Miscible liquids, for example, if you mix two types of oils, they mix each other and forming a single layer. Another example, alcohol and water, spirit and water, when they are mixed with each other, they dissolve each other and they form miscible or soluble liquids. Then how to separate these soluble liquids? That is what today we are going to discuss. Now, soluble liquids, you see, there is different liquids have different boiling points. What is boiling point? The temperature at which a liquid start boiling, vaporizing. For example, water vaporizes at 100 degrees Celsius. That is the boiling point of water. So we take this property of boiling point into consideration for the separation of two soluble liquids. Now, two soluble liquids, for example, we take the mixture of alcohol and water. Now, alcohol boiling point is 78 degrees centigrade. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, as I told you. So there is a difference in the boiling point. Suppose you take this mixture in a container and you start heating and you note the temperature. When the temperature reaches 78 degrees Celsius, what happens? The alcohol vaporizes and we can condense the vapors of alcohol and you can separate it from the water which is having the boiling point 100 degrees Celsius. Here we use the method. This method is also called as distillation because in this also there is evaporation of the lower boiling component followed by condensation of the vapors, and we get the lower boiling point liquid first and the higher boiling point liquid remain in the distillation flask. So what we say, this is also a kind of distillation. There is two soluble liquids could be separated by this method. So I am going to share a screen with you where explanation of distillation for separation of soluble or miscible liquids. Okay, children? Search. First dollar. 26th. Okay, children, see to the screen. I'm sharing. In the previous class, you have seen how to separate two immiscible liquids by using the separating funnel. Here, the density of the difference in the densities are used as the idea for separation. The lower, lesser denser liquid floats, and we can separate it very simply without much mechanism. You have seen it in the previous lesson. Now, today, distillation to separate two miscible liquids. Miscible means soluble, I told you. For example, we take alcohol and water. There, we have to see the difference in the boiling point. Actually, boiling point is a characteristic of a liquid. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, whereas alcohol boils at 78 degrees Celsius. So we take this difference in the boiling point as the principle for the separation. It is involving distillation evaporation followed by condensation. So that is also a kind of distillation. In the previous lesson, we have seen distillation can be used for separating a soluble solid from a liquid where we need to collect the liquid component also. For example, seawater, if you evaporate, generally the water evaporates and the salt remains. If you want to collect the liquid part, that is water part also, you need to condense the vapors. That is evaporation followed by condensation. So there it was solid liquid, here it is liquid liquid soluble. So, okay, I'm reading it. If a liquid in a mixture are miscible, boil without decomposition and possesses difference in the boiling point, they can be separated by distillation. Here the word decomposition written means if it decomposes, separates into different components, this cannot be used. So forget about it. We are just discussing about soluble liquids where they do not decompose by simple heating. Before boiling, they will not decompose. Distillation involves conversion of a liquid into its vapor, followed by the condensation of the vapor back into the liquid. So I told you in the previous lesson also, distillation involves evaporation followed by condensation. So I'm reading it again. Distillation involves the conversion of a liquid into its vapor, followed by condensation of the vapor back into the liquid. Distillation used only if the liquid have difference in the boiling point more than 25 K. Here K is a unit of temperature. 25 degrees Celsius, you know it. Now K is Kelvin. Don't forget about this. You just keep in mind there should be difference in the boiling point between the two liquids. Then only this could be used. Generally, there is different liquids have different boiling points. They never same. But if it is too close, suppose there is a liquid with 99 degrees Celsius boiling point and water with 100 degrees Celsius, if they are soluble, you cannot use distillation for this. So we just keep in mind the boiling point should be different at least 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. Then easily this could be done. Anyway, you don't worry about this 25K numeric given. Just keep the idea of distillation where two soluble liquids can be separated. So there is an activity which is describing the what we call distillation. Now fractional distillation, the next word is written. You just see to that fractional distillation. Suppose if the liquid mixture is having more than two components, there we use the term fractional distillation. Suppose only alcohol and water mixture is to be separated, we call it as simple distillation. So what happens? You will heat the mixture containing water and alcohol. Water having higher boiling point remains, whereas the 78 degree when it shows on the thermometer, then the alcohol vaporizes and this could be collected after condensing and water remains. This is simple distillation for the separation of when only two soluble liquids. Now, more than two soluble substances or liquids or whatever it is, we use the term fractional distillation. This is extensively in large scale used in the separation of components of crude oil, petroleum. You know that petroleum is a mineral which is extracted from the earth crust. This petroleum or crude oil which is mined having various components with different boiling point. There are 6 to 7 components in that. This could be separated by fractional distillation. This is done in large scale in petroleum refineries. Out of that, one of the major important component is petrol, diesel, kerosene, etc. These all are separated by the process of fractional distillation. It is called fractional distillation because there are more than two components present. Each component is called a fraction. They differ in their boiling points. Just there is a demonstration to show fractional distillation. There is, look into that figure, fractional distillation. Just have a look into the apparatus. There is a distillation flask. This is a condenser. The vapors coming out through the pipe passes through a container. Condenser, water condenser. Condenser is having over it, there is a flow of water, water outlet, water in. This is keeping the surface of the glass of the container cool and the pure liquid component could be separated from this. So see that full apparatus setup, fractionating column, distillation flask, mixture, cold water, water condenser, thermometer, cord, clamp, etc. This is an apparatus setup just to show. So I am reading it. To separate a mixture of two or more miscible liquids for which difference in the boiling point is less than 25 degrees Celsius. 25 Kelvin. Forget about this. The difference in the boiling point should be enough to have this separation. Now, separation of gases from air, different fractions of petroleum products, etc. You know that air contains nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. Majorly nitrogen and oxygen. In commercial manner, air components, nitrogen and oxygen can be separated by fractional distillation. You must be wondering, if they are gases, how could it be done? Anyway, first there is a process to convert air into liquid. After that, this liquid air is allowed to evaporate. Now, liquid nitrogen and liquid oxygen has difference in their boiling point. This could be experimentally done to separate the components of air. So petroleum products, I told you, petroleum or crude oil is having 6 to 7 components in it. All are highly useful. They are to be separated. There also we use this method called fractional distillation, where the different fractions have difference in their boiling point. So continuing reading, the apparatus is similar to that of simple distillation, except a fractionating column is fitted. Just have the idea only. We don't need much explanation, but it is an introduction to the separation of soluble liquids. We use fractional distillation. A simple fractionating column tube is packed with glass beds. These beds provide surface for the vapors to cool and condense repeatedly. This is a special setup when it is having more than two or more than two soluble components. There we need to go for fractional distillation. So that is all about the separation of mixtures. Now, in this lesson, you have seen how to separate different components, that is, of a mixture. Now, why we are separating, I told you in the first lesson, we need to separate. Sometimes we need to avoid harmful substances. Sometimes we need to go for pure substances for making some medicines and other purposes. Also, that is why we need to go for separation. Now, the methods for separation based on the type of mixture. I told you in the first class about homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. Homogeneous mixtures have similar, equally distributed components. For example, sugar solution. Heterogeneous mixture has unequally distributed components. For example, muddy water. Now, the different types of mixers, solid-solid mixers, solid-liquid mixers, liquid-liquid mixers, solid gas mixers, and also dissolved liquids, undissolved liquids, dissolved solids, undissolved solids. So these all we use different methods as per the requirement. Now, the method selected is based on the principle that the components differ in their characteristics. Now, I'll share a screen to explain a little bit about a different topic, solution. How are you? ಏನಿದೆ ಸರ್? Yeah. So that was all about separation of mixers introduction. Now solution and solubility. Now I told you while discussing about homogeneous mixtures, sugar and water, salt and water, homogeneous mixtures. Homogeneous mixtures are also called solutions. A solution is a solute plus solvent gives a solution. For example, common salt, namak. plus water gives salt solution. Now, what is the speciality with the solution? In a solution, the components are equally distributed. That is, if you take sugar and dissolve in water and collect sugar solution, any part of the mixture, all the parts have the same qualities after shaking it, of course. So this is the nature of a solution. What we call it homogeneous because equally the solid particles distributed between the space of the liquid. Now, the substance which dissolve, we call it a solute, and the liquid which dissolve the substance solid, we call it a solvent. Now, the resulting mixture obtained, we call it a solution. Now, solubility means suppose you take a glass full of water, add some sugar into it, carry on doing. You see that a limit, after a limit, water will not allow the sugar to dissolve in it. This, there is a limit for the space. For example, you take a room, classroom, you start filling the students in it. After all the benches are being filled, if you allow children to get in again, then you have to make them stand. Similarly, if you go on adding, after a certain time period, the solid particle, the sugar will settle down at the bottom because there is no space for the liquid to occupy these solids. So that is solubility has a limit. Then reading this, just to go through it. When we add a teaspoon sugar of sugar to a glass of water and stir, the sugar disappears. This is because sugar did dissolve and completely in water. The substance that get dissolved is called a solute. The substance which something get dissolved is called a solvent, and the mixture of the solute and the solvent is called solution. A mixture of one or more solutes dissolved in a solvent is called a solution. Here, homogeneous mixture we need to specify. Solution can be represented. This is very simple. Solvent plus solute solution. Salt solution, they are given the example. Salt plus water, salt solution. So just reading this. Substance may be soluble or insoluble in a liquid. Soluble substances are those get dissolved in a liquid, salt and water. Insoluble that do not get dissolved. Sand, chalk are insoluble in water. This is also a topic related to this separation of mixtures. That is why I discussed it over here. Have a look into this. Solution is made, figure 3.9, by dissolving sugar or salt in it. So one thing I have to tell you about this, I told you if you go on adding sugar, a time will come, the sugar starts settling down at the bottom. Now, this solution which is having maximum amount of solute dissolved in it is called a saturated solution. So that is a definition. Just meaning of saturated solution, solution which contain all the space, all the maximum capacity is used up. For example, the previous example, suppose all the students are sitting in all the benches and the benches are completely full. We could say that the class is saturated. Similar manner, here the space between the liquid is completely used up. So we call it as saturated solution. So that is all about the class, children. The solution is a homogeneous mixture of a solute and a solvent. Just now we are learning only simple solutions or solution. They are sugar solution. In higher classes, we have different types of solutions. Anyway, solution is a homogeneous mixture. A solute plus solvent gives a solution. Okay, children, that's all about this topic, children. So I'm closing this topic now. That is tomorrow. That is next class onwards. Priyanka ma'am will be continuing the next topic. This was the introduction of separation of mixers. I hope all of you are keeping fine. Have a look into this video nicely. Get the concept cleared. Any doubt, you can come on the Saturday. There will be a doubt session. There you will be provided with the ID and password. In the meantime, till then, stay safe. Continue watching the videos. You tomorrow, that is next class onwards, Priyanka ma'am will be doing the science class. That is all about today, children. I hope all of you are keeping well. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you for watching.